Hi, we're Roy and Karen, and this is about a trip we just took with some great new and old friends.
So before we tell them what we did, why don't we tell them why we did it?
So it's that time of year again, time to gather with our friends and get out and do something fun and just spend some quality time together. It's been a hectic time of year for us, and we needed to keep it a little simple this time, and this was it.
So what you're talking about is quarterly, we like to go do something just to pull our neighbors and friends together.
Exactly.
So we have done fireside chats, and we have done
Potlucks at the pool.
And this was, by keeping this down to 10 people, for us at least, that made it a lot easier to organize. We have a boating history. We used to own a pontoon boat, and we used to keep it on an Oregon mountain lake. It wasn't necessarily a boat for fishing, even though that's what we did. It was a boat for camping. We put sleeping bags out on it.
Friday night happy hours. It was for
getting out of the heat.
Getting out of the heat for sure.
In summer times in Southern Oregon, could be 105 degrees, but you go up there to that lake, it's 80. Mm-hmm. So where did we go?
One of the places we wanted to tour in a boat would be the Mount Dora Canals. We'd heard so much about. Beautiful setting, just gorgeous.
So I selected the place to do the rental, and I selected this company called Get Wet Water Sports.
Water Sports.
And they are on Lake Eustis in the town of Tavares. And the reason I selected them was for two reasons. Number one, excellent reviews. Everybody gave them excellent reviews. Number two, they were the closest pontoon rental place to the Dora Canal.
Right. You want to spend all your time trying to get to where you want to go, or do you want to spend your time going?
We start the day off pulling everybody together and caravanning to Tavares. We got there. The check-in process was sweet. Easy peasy. I went in there, signed the documents, gave them a copy of my driver's license, and we were off.
On our way, having a good old time.
If you look at this map, I want to show you where we were and where the canal is. And we drove from Lake Eustis through that canal, and we came out the other side in Lake Dora. That was 2 miles. And most of that 2 miles, you're doing it at 2 miles an hour. Because it's a no-wake zone all the way through. Once we got into Lake Dora, it's another 5 miles to the other side to get to the town of Mount Dora, which was the other really scenic place. I know that I wanted to go, and one of our other guests really wanted to go to do some photography. Mm-hmm. Going through that canal, that really was the highlight, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. With the wildlife, with the scenery, with the conversations. It's quiet. All the boats are in a line. You can actually have a conversation. Yeah. It was awesome.
Putting through the Dora Canal. We're going through at 2 miles an hour, and it was very easy just to take in everything. It really was jungly, just like in the African Queen, which, by the way, when they were doing post-production on the African Queen and they had to do some reshoots or retakes or something, they came to the Dora Canal to do that. I thought that was fascinating, but I really did feel like we were in that same environment. Some of our friends were commenting on the different kind of plants that were climbing up the trees, and then there are mobile home parks along the canal, just right there.
And Airbnbs and bigger homes, but just a mix of all kinds of things.
And what people put in their yards facing the canal could be very interesting. Some people had a gnome village, and somebody else had built a lighthouse. I just thought it was very quaint and made for a very interesting drive. What was your highlight of the canal?
The wildlife, the peacefulness, the little offshoots. It's like, ooh, I want to go see what's down there. Well, not today, but I want to go see what's down there. Oh, not today, but just a neat place.
we got onto Lake Dora, and I punched it. And this boat tops out at right about 11 miles per hour. I mean, we're just gunning it. But it was so much fun. There was so much to see, and we hadn't been on the water like that in so long. It's not like being on a cruise ship.
No, it's relaxing. It's not peaceful when you're gunning it, but that was the best weather we could have selected.
Oh,
the perfect day.
And I think we also we were surrounded by wonderful people, getting to know our friends a little bit better. Every time we have one of these get-togethers, we learn more about each other.
And sometimes there's new people and different connections. And now we have two people that say, hey, I really enjoyed that person. Can't wait to see them again. And
we got to the other side of Lake Dora, and we were in the town of Mount Dora. And we had been to that little park before. And we're actually going to link to that video at the end of this one, where you can see how we were on the ground and we were standing next to this lighthouse. And it seems so much bigger than it seems when you are coming up to it.
The lake going, is that it?
Wait a minute.
Is that it?
It's only this big. And we got closer. Now it's that big. But even when we were just right alongside it, we were on the water, it just seemed so small. Not the same thing. As a kid, I had been on Liberty Island and I had walked up Lady Liberty. But she looks a whole lot different when you and I were on that jet boat out on the Hudson River. She's short. She doesn't look the same.
Much smaller with those giant towering buildings in the background.
So we headed back. We only had a rental for 4 hours. There was still some things I wanted to see. I wanted to see the seaplanes. And it was funny because as we were on our way to Mount Dora, 2 seaplanes dive bombed us basically, and I didn't have the camera on. So I figured if we went over to the seaplane port, we'd have a better shot of catching a seaplane
Coming
taking
in
off.
or taking off.
I thought I had the camera on. I spent 15-20 minutes filming this seaplane taking off to find out I didn't have it turned on. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
But here's a picture of us standing next to it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I'm going through Facebook and I see a post from a Facebook friend, and they're sitting in the same restaurant where these seaplanes are, and here goes our party walking behind
right
them in their photo. And I didn't spot them.
We need to name drop them.
That would be Patty and Tim Becker. Happy birthday, Tim.
And if you don't know who the Beckers are, they are the founders of SantaCon South.
Yeah, they're going to be leading the big event on December 9th this year.
And we will be there again. We'll bring a caravan with us.
Hammock and Fanny will be in the house.
We went over to Puddle Jumpers to get a drink, but that was a quick stop. Let's just get something to drink and get back on
potty breaks and
off onto the water. We get back to the dock, and I'm just telling you, it's uneventful.
Smooth and easy.
I highly recommend this company. They took good care of us. What's the name of the company again? Get Wet Water Sports. But it's now 2:00 in the afternoon, and it's time for lunch. Hurricane Dockside Grill. I'm going to give it a...
It's a beautiful setting.
It's a gorgeous setting, and we saw alligators.
We saw alligators, that's for sure, and all kinds of beautiful natural foliage all around.
The only point I'm trying to make is that if we're going to talk about someplace, if it's good, we should say it. And if it's not so good, we should say it. Exactly 1 year ago from that trip that we just did, we were in Mount Dora. And we were walking around the boardwalk and looking at the alligators and walking around the town. And we went to a great restaurant. Tony's Chowder House or something or other.
Yeah, our friends, the Kerrigans.
amazing. Highly recommend Tony's. But if you want to see what that was all about, go check out this video right here. In the meantime,
we appreciate you stopping by
and traveling along with us. See ya.